We're live.
Mhm.
Okay, and I'm just gonna add it to the website.
We're good. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Suez Town Council. Tuesday, November the 9th, 2021 at 2 p.m. in council chambers. So first of all, we need the approval of the agenda and late items.
Addition of a late item.
So we do have an addition of a late item, and it would be under staff reports number 3. And it's a report from the CAO on normal water conservation regulations in town and water districts 8 and 9. Okay, so we need to move that the agenda is approved as amended. Thank you, Councillor Rhodes, Councillor King, all in favor. Thank you. And the adoption of some minutes, the special open minutes of from October the 25th, 2021, and the special open minutes from October the 26th. Could we have a motion? Thank you, Councillor Bennett, Councillor Rhodes, all in favor. Thank you. And we will go down to staff reports. And the first one is the landfill weigh scale. Would that be you, Mr. Brownstein?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Request for council to authorize the signature of appropriate documentation to award the scale and associated civil works to a conglomerate of Mettler, Toledo, and Newport Structures for the new scale going up the landfill. So this will be a total for $246,044. This will complete the entire scale works up there. We already have the office trailer purchased and waiting to be delivered.
So it's now split into 2 parts.
So it's not
Is
split into
that-
2 contracts, Your Worship. So basically to bring it back under budget, we are now managing as the town the contract. So to make sure that things are coordinated and both contractors on site at the appropriate times.
Okay. So, and it should be completed by March 2022.
That is correct, Your
Is
Worship.
that correct? So it will be, they will be able to do it during the winter,
Yep.
provided that the weather cooperates.
Yes.
I assume. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about this one? Okay, would somebody like to move the recommendation that the construction for 246,000 is entered into? Thank you, Councillor Rhodes, Councillor King. No problems, all in favor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And next is the ice resurfacer, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We are actually put an RFP together to get a new ice resurfacer since our old one is 20+ years old and it is a gas or propane powered. And basically, we're looking at the electric. We put an RFP out there and we're actually came back with 2 different quotes, both which are under budget. The Zamboni, which was $158,905 plus tax, and an Olympia, which was at $164,950 plus tax. And what we'd like to do is to actually move with the for council to approve the electric ice resurfacer that was submitted by Kendrick Equipment for the price of $158,905 plus applicable taxes, and that the town signatories be authorized to enter into a contract for the work specified in the RFP document. And the other option is for council not to approve the purchase of an electric ice resurfacer at this time. And we're looking at option number 1 for recommendation.
Thank you. Is the last one that you had a Zamboni? One
It's
that's
an
there.
It's an Olympia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was a different one. Go ahead.
Remember, are these companies Canadian?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Good. So would Councillor Rhodes, would you like to make a motion?
Thank you, Mayor McCord. I'll move the staff recommended motion number 1.
All right. Is there a seconder? Councillor Bennett. No other questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. And now, Mr. Chabot, I can see your names there.
Sorry, your worship, we can get it made larger.
Usually Counselor Rhodes faces it towards me in case I get mixed up. No, I apologize.
I need to face it towards myself. in case I forget who I am.
Go ahead, please.
Your worship, just an information report for council. We're returning the water conservation regulations to the normal level for the town of Vesuvius and water districts 8 and 9. Council will recall in July, we moved to stage 1 restrictions due to extreme drought conditions existing in the valley and elsewhere in the province. We undertook a bit of an information campaign, the newspaper ads, notice on our website, e-news. I think we got it covered on the radio as well. If we moved to stage 2, it would have been much more restrictive and would have had more of an impact on people in their residential landscapes. Cooler, wetter weather now, we can safely return to the normal water conservation regulations in the town of Vesuvius, which still implies a degree of restriction on the use of water. Water is one of our most precious resources, and we live in a desert. And so we'll issue an e-news again just to tell people what that's about, what it constitutes. We don't expect that there's a whole lot of residential yard watering or tree watering going on right now, probably not until the spring, but it's an opportunity to make people familiar again with the restrictions and what they need. Even though it says it's normal, it's not a free-for-all for water. It's a 3-day a week, designated days a week based on your house number, designated hours within those days. Some exemption or variation for folks with underground sprinklers, exemptions for hand watering exist both in the normal and the stage 1. Stage 1 actually restricted people from washing their cars in their yards too. Little known, I think, and probably not a lot of compliance, but had we moved to stage 2 and we were thinking more seriously about water supply and availability, we would have upped our efforts for enforcement and probably sent some student ambassadors or somebody around to inform people. Fortunately, that wasn't the case. And so looking good now. Hopefully we return to more normal water supply levels.
Good. Thank you. So my water was turned off about a month ago, so I certainly haven't been doing any watering, and I'm assuming most people probably haven't. However, the rain that we have had recently has been appreciated for sure. Okay, so what we need is just a note that this would be received for information, this report. Councillor Rhodes, Councillor King, all in favor. Thank you. And next is the general net payroll and Sun Bowl Arena financial accounts. As of November the 9th, 2021, general cash requirements are in the amount of $442,251.25. Sun Bowl cash requirements of $6,397.69, and net payroll accounts of $106,414.69. So the options are for council to receive these three for information purposes, or number 2, to request additional information from staff. Someone like to move this? Councillor Rhodes, Councillor King, all in favor. Thank you very much. And next is the sewer rates regulation bylaw and the sewer connections bylaw. Is that you, Mr. Chabot?
I certainly can,
Yeah.
your worship. This was part of the budget and capital plan review. Council spent a day. Was that Monday last week or was it earlier?
Yeah.
In any event, for a number of reasons, consideration of the sewer rates and regulations bylaws for in-town and out-of-town was deferred. Mr. Zacco has prepared a report and amended the bylaws as required due to changes to some of the capital outlook in sewer. This bylaw, these bylaws propose a 7.8% increase to sewer user fees. And it increases the single family residential rate from $280.19 to $302.04, which is an annual increase of $21.85 for a single family residence. This increases revenues by $124,900 to offset an increase in operating expenditures. For the next 4 years of a 5-year financial plan, being 2023 to 2026, it's estimated that it'll be necessary to increase sewer user fees by 5% annually to offset additional costs, including SCADA system upgrades, replacement of the Walnut wastewater pump station, replacement of the Gyro wastewater pump station, electrical upgrades to the Marina wastewater pump station, development of an asset management, the capital plan for sanitary sewer, wastewater pipe condition assessments, treatment discharge updates, treatment upgrades, sodium hypochlorite bulk system, and some sewer main upgrading. The increase in operating expenditures is largely attributed to wages and salaries, including a 2% increase for QP employees, 1% for overhead, plus 50% of a new full-time equivalent technical position that will be responsible for the development and ongoing operation of a metering program for water, as well as a program for water and wastewater quality monitoring, a cross-connection control program, light ship development, which is a GIS system that works with asset management, and technical data collection. There are increases in operating for maintenance for some of the new SCADA and for equipment financing. Also attached is a sewer connection and regulations bylaw, which added additional definitions and included provisions for sewer laterals on property. The options are for council to give first 3 readings to sewer fees amendment file number 1368.01, and to give first 3 readings to sewer connection and regulation file number 1374, or for council to make further changes to the bylaw or defer back to staff for more information.
Thank you very much. Council, what would you like to do here? Go ahead, Council Rhodes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. What was the staff recommended option number 1?
Okay, we give first 3 readings to this. Is there, Councilor Bennett, you're seconding that? Are there any questions, concerns? The entire bylaw is here, including pictures, which I thought was quite helpful, because it was the lateral I think changes that kind of the very last pages has a picture of how they fix this typical sewer service connection, and I thought that was quite helpful. So it's been moved and seconded that we give first 3 readings to this bylaw. I'll call a question. All in favor? Thank you very much. Okay.
Move option 2.
We have to do that one as well.
Yes.
Sorry, I missed that.
I guess the sewer outside.
Yeah, okay, okay, so option 1, then option 2. So you're moving option 2, thank you. Councilor Rhodes is seconding that. Any more concerns about this? All right, all in favor. Thank you very much. And we will go back to business, the report from the CAO. Please.
Your worship, thank you. Not a very big report. A lot of items previously reported on are updated and included in here. I won't refer to them all. Myself and the corporate services staff have spent a lot of time on staff vacancies, promotions, job postings, backfilling positions, reviewing cover letters and resumes, interviewing. Been a really busy world in the world of human resource management. Also been attending an awful lot of meetings, and council will know well. Council's been very busy over the last couple of weeks with budget and committee of the whole, and special closed meetings, and council meetings, and Main Street design meetings, meetings again today. So eats up a fair bit of the time. I personally participated in an online regional CAO group meeting that included a review of the 2021 wildfire response within the regional district. We had a discussion about communicable disease exposure control plans and efforts to improve Indigenous relations and understandings. The executive assistant and I met with Destination Osoyoos, so we did a review of their regional tourism marketing fee for service agreement. It expires at the end of this year. Expect to bring forward a replacement agreement for a 2-year term to the meeting on November 23rd, after Destination Osoyoos has presented their operating plan for the coming year and their budget associated with that. The town's budget is provision for the same fee for that service for each of the years. And so we talked that over with DO and they're okay where they're at right now. So you can expect to see that. There was a all-day online local government law seminar. Liv Stone and Company facilitates good learnings for a number of staff on various areas pertaining to local government law. Community services, they continue to operate and try their best to comply with public health orders and interior health regional regulations regarding COVID. They're planning a Jingle Bell Run with the Desert Valley Running Club on December the 4th, making arrangements to run the Elf in the Park program again, which people seem to enjoy. Working on a winter leisure guide. Score clock at Sun Bowl Arena is on the fritz. It's been sent for diagnosis to manufacturer. I have no idea where that might be, in Chicago or something. The RFP for the Desert Park RV site reconstruction will be issued later this week. Hoping to get competitive bids for that work. And Community Services is happy to have 3 new staff members in place. We've hired Ali Trainer as a community programmer, Lauren Oshasaki as a community services assistant, and Brian Roberts as a relief facility attendant. Corporate services, as I mentioned, it's been HR for them. In addition to that, they're working on getting quotes for real property and marina insurance for the coming year. Dealing with some freedom of information, protection of privacy, and supporting bylaw enforcement. And as council knows, bylaw enforcement is now under the purview of corporate services again, now that we're up to staff strength there. We're looking at potentially hiring a second bylaw enforcement officer and employing 2 people year round rather than seasonal. We had no success getting seasonal bylaw officers. Nobody seemed interested in a short-term placement who had qualifications to provide the service. And so we're considering the options, and we'll update council as soon as we know more. I didn't get anything from financial services in time for this report. The fire hall had a hazmat awareness and operations course November 5th, 6th, and 7th. It was a free course that's provided by the Canadian Association of Fire Chiefs and the International Association of Firefighters, and more than 20 paid on-call volunteers attended the course, both from Osoyoos and surrounding jurisdictions. I didn't get anything from planning and development. Operational services is seasonal changeover, capital works, issues and repairs, fall cleanups. A bunch of the capital I've reported on previously, and so it'll be in my written version of my report if anybody wants more details for that. Nice to see the improvements at the Osoyoos sanitary landfill moving ahead too.
Okay, thank you very much. Could we please have the acceptance of the report, Mr. Chabot's report? Thank you, Councillor Bennett, Councillor Rose, all in favor. Thank you. And council report, Councillor King.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. As was mentioned, we have been attending a lot of meetings. One in particular of interest in the public meeting is on November 2nd. We had a special meeting to deal with Main Street. Mayor and all council was in attendance along with staff. I'd just like the public to know there has been no decisions on the parking downtown Osoyoos. And on November 9th, on behalf of the mayor, I was on a Zoom meeting with Interior Health with a lot of other mayors in the Interior Health area. The update is there's about 800 people on temporary, I guess you'd call it leave, while they get vaccinated. There was about 100 people with the virus the week before. It's really come down now. The last report, they changed daily. There was only 6 between Oliver and here with the virus, so that's great to hear. And also, there's availability of walk-through events now. That's my report.
Thank you very much, and thank you for attending that. There's another one next week. I'm at another meeting, so can you go to that one too?
Send me the tables
will.
like that.
I will, thank you. Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple of quick ones. We had a DO board meeting and Kelly was here this morning and filled us all in, so nothing really reported except that Alan Matthews is a new CEO of Toda, taking over from Glenn, and I think that's good. It might bring him back to Toda working in local areas rather than international, because I think she's more in tune with the valley of what's happening. School board, not too much there, few exposure to COVID. No evidence of school transmission, which is good. And we had the trails in Okanagan and we found we have over 2,000 followers. So it's really good news.
Good. Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Carby.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have a report this week.
Thank you. Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Member Cordoff. Well, I was able to attend some of the regional district meetings last week. I want to send out a congratulations to Area Director A. Mark Tennegraff. He's now the chair of the RDOS again. I think it was a good choice by the board, and I know Mark, I spoke to him after the meeting, was pretty excited about sitting back in that chair again. Also, congratulations to our Mayor McCordoff. I always get these committee names wrong. Vice Chair of the Hospital Committee, and she'll continue that ongoing, somewhat contentious battle we're having with Interior Health. And I'm not making up the words for anything personal. Everybody kind of feels that way around the table at the regional district. So, yeah, it was kind of an interesting, just a little bit of a tidbit from the meeting. One of the first online voting things on an internal election. So everybody was in attendance, but you still have to go online and vote for your candidate for all of the positions in the regional district. Started off a little bit awkward, but by the time they got through the election and worked out some of the bugs of it, it actually worked really good. It was kind of an interesting process, and in my opinion, kind of worked really well. So it's my report.
Thank you very much. So a couple of things that I was on. I've spent 2 days last week in Penticton at the regional district meetings, and this is a busy month for regional district because I have two days of meetings next week and 2 the week after that too. So that's it. It was nice to be back in person with all of the people on the board. So it was helpful to actually be able to sit down and coffee and chat with them. One of the meetings was a legislative workshop, and it was the AGM, and the following day was the budget, RDOS budget, and it's pretty confusing because there are 156 different budgets at the regional district. It's a user pay, so if you're not involved with it, you don't have to pay into that budget. But it is confusing, especially for the director of finance who has to juggle them all. So, and it was also the second day was grant and aid applications, and anybody who wanted a grant and aid from the RDOS had to come and make a presentation in person. They did, and then afterwards, the board looked at them all and made some decisions. But the budget, it will take a while for the budget to be finalized, and there's another meeting on that next week. I was also on the Okanagan Basin Water Board meeting last week, and I know that the report has come out, It wasn't included in here, but it will be on our next agenda, and I will speak to some of the issues at that time. And I was also, because I'm the vice chair of the Okanagan-Similkameen Regional Hospital District, I was on a very interesting meeting with the Regional Hospital District, which includes all of IH, Interior Health, and there are 7 regional districts on this. They go up to Thompson, Okanagan, some of them, and all the way over to the Alberta border. So it was quite a few different sort of points of view. And we spent about 3 hours talking about issues that we had and how things tend to get neglected. And one of the things that we're quite concerned about is the primary care network that we've been talking about for the last several years. And we would certainly like to get on with that and try and get that arranged for the South Okanagan for sure. And I think we're well on the way to that. And we do have some representatives that will be on that committee. And Councillor Bentamila in Oliver is going to go on, and Councillor Bennett will be the alternate on that one. So we look forward to having some input on that. And I just want a couple of things that are on this week. One is that Thursday, of course, is Remembrance Day. And so it is a holiday. We are not able to have, or the Legion has not arranged to have a large gathering at the Sonora Center. That was not possible. They are having a small gathering at the Legion upstairs at 11 o'clock, and I am attending that. But they will not be having something at the Cenotaph out here, which is common as well, not for this year. I think I know that Interior Health has changed some of their rules and regulations about things, but it was too difficult to try and do something different at the last minute. However, the poppy, and I'm not sure whether I showed this the last time, this is the 100th anniversary poppy that is given out by the Legion, not the ones that we're wearing, but this is a separate one. And it was a lady in 1925, I think it was, that she gave some of these out. Maybe it was the First World War. She gave them out to some of the soldiers that were there, and she made them. And so they've just done a symbol of remembrance for 100 years of the poppy. And so that's on Thursday. And then on Saturday this week, Market on Main is having their first market, and it's in the Legion, and it's upstairs. So they were out here all summer, every Saturday, and now they have 5 times that they're going to do markets inside. First one is this Saturday, and then it will be 2 Christmas markets on December the 5th and the 11th, another one in January and another one in February. So that will be advertised. So we're happy that that's being done. So that's all that I had for today. Thank you. And so now I will ask that we go in camera. Pursuant to section 91 of the Community Charter, a part of a council meeting may be closed to the public if the subject matter being considered relates to or is one or more of the following. Section 91K, negotiations and related discussions respecting the proposed provision of a municipal service that are at their preliminary stages, and that in the view of the council could reasonably be expected to harm the interests of the municipality if they were held in public. So could I have a motion, please, to go in camera? Thank you. Councillor Rhodes, Councillor